here to see the process. This fellow loads up these little hand buckets, if you will, with sand, and then he'll dump it over there, getting it ready for this guy here, who creates kind of like a little volcano. And in the center he starts mixing up cement, and when he gets enough he ends up with a pile like this, which he keeps wet. And then one guy there puts the cement over in the next course that they're going to do. Oh, just watch it. Well, he's just laid one in now. He'll just keep tapping until he gets it level the way he wants it. This guy will set up the next course. They're both working together. This looks like, again, same stuff you're going to find in Bangkok, anywhere else in the whole Asia, I bet you. Except maybe China. Maybe they do something different there. It's because they make everything. This is an explanation, a graphic explanation of the design of a wat. I don't know if this camera can shoot through this smoky glass. Some of these figures look modern, they may well be. Now this alley, which is off of the little alley that has the produce and all that kind of stuff, is supposed to be selling things that are used in offerings or in the prayers and all that sort of thing. They're much quieter, more subdued, which is appropriate to the merchandise being offered. This is an ice shaver. Very good. Kapun crab, kapun crab. Some fellow who's swimming in here for some reason. But this is a klong or a canal. It used to be, and it appears that each is different. This has a long beard, although somewhat like the character in, I think, the third Pirates of the Caribbean. Here a gesture, perhaps of hello, who knows? Or maybe. And I'm approaching this large building that we saw from the main temple. Beyond this wall is the road, or a road. This is Nadler. Very, very beautiful. This is a relatively narrow entryway. Another consecration hall, whatever that means. Beautiful, whatever this is. Reminds me of a beautiful porcelain vase. pass up that offer. I was on Rambuti Street, which I think which is obviously taking a turn right there, and I think I'm going to eat here because I can get what I want, yellow curry with vegetables. And just a little ways away from turning right off of Rambuti to go to the riverside. I thought I'd sit there and watch more white than I've seen since I left LAX. On balance, the zoo is probably just a little bit of the overall daily experience for the folks here. Mostly what it is a chance for a family to get away from work, to get into some pleasant surroundings that are fun and detached from work, where kids can have fun, where they can learn a little bit, see a little bit at the zoo, and spend some time just relaxing and walking about, buy some food from the vendors. They bring the little reed mats and the family lays out for that, or a picnic. Some games over there for adults, I guess, and food vendors everywhere. Can't starve here. This little bridge goes over to the island. Great place for picnicking. Of course, the motorbike is a great source of transportation for the whole family. This bear was just standing on its haunches. Maybe it'll do it again just to entertain the crowd. This is a pretty display area, but doesn't seem to be anything in it but some fish in the water. Notice that big tree. I mean, they've done a fantastic job of creating this place. Look at the size of those claws. It really seems to be a ham, taking it all in and enjoying it. Either that or he's elevating at the potential dinners. Almost seems to be covering his snout. An older lady saw what I didn't see in this beautiful display here, and that's this bear. You can see he's just agonizing over the heat. Besides black bear. This little kid got a waffle on a stick, so I figured I'd better get one also. Unfortunately, it's a hot dog inside, and I didn't realize that. He was just begging from the crowd, and then the folks here threw out some stuff for him, so he's no dummy. He's on his way up for the really good stuff. Like Jack, he's got to smell it first, make sure it really is what he's been eating ever since he was born, probably here. Look at the stuff they throw in. Oh, this guy's just out. Let's see if there's any competition. I wonder if this is his wife. It's like a giant garbage disposal. The whole cabbage is gone. Not terribly discriminating, doesn't look like. Okay, let's see how this one works out. Not terribly aggressive yet. No, the other guy's moved over to the bananas, leaving him free to munch on this stuff. So I guess they'll get along for a bit. Here are some scenes during the Second World War. It suggests that Phra Nakhon or Bangkok was the main target of Allied bombings. Wonder why that was the case. Surely it was the Japanese that were probably occupying this. There was also heavy flooding during 1942, which made it even more difficult for them. This is the Democracy Monument, which I think I've taken some shots of. in the Bangkok Noi Railroad Station. Wat Arun Railroad Station, which I left, it's the main station in the southern part of Bangkok. Probably railroad stations, anything that could be used by the Japanese for transportation, and bridges was destroyed. The Japanese landed December 9th, 1941, which is interesting, 2 days after they bombed Pearl Harbor. Fierce resistance by the Thais, but it turned this whole area into a battlefield. And when the Japanese invaded something, it was rape and atrocities. I wonder if this is a bomb that was recovered, it didn't explode. Japanese corpses. Japanese airplane shot down on the Gilbert Islands, MacArthur, after his return to Bataan. A horrible battle that was. The American Navy goes ashore at Leyte Island. Here American soldiers at Bataan surrendering to the Japanese. German army parading before Hitler. Bodies of Japanese kamikaze pilots. Okinawa Island. This is an air raid shelter, so that's what that bomb is for. We'll go and take a look at this. Here, air vents. And then here's the vent out. Probably would have held about 50 people standing up compacted. Kind of stingray. A couple more rays over there. Malayan taper. The dual color scheme is interesting. I don't know if that's an albino or its normal color. Not sure what that is. It may be the barking deer, I don't know.
ก็สวัสดีนะคะอันนี้สวัสดีอีกรอบหนึ่งค่ะอันนี้เป็นรอบตอนบ่ายแล้วนะคะวันนี้
This picture most reflects Thais having a good time on the second day of Chinese New Year's and the Sunday. It's warm, but not horribly warm. And here's some, I don't know whether they're art students or whether they're just attempting to make a little money today or what. Or maybe this is just a little concession where you get to paint out in between the lines any way you wish. I'm thinking that must be what it is, so it gives kids and parents a chance to work together on something. It's a great idea. One of my most revered exhibits at a zoo looks like a decorative fountain, sans water, of the eld deer that we just saw.
อย่างได้เห็นครับขอเสียงปรบมือได้ไหมครับโอเคผ่านแล้วลูกผ่านแล้วหลังจากนี้ครับอุปกรณ์ต่อไปออกมาครับอุปกรณ์ตัดขาครับเห็นออกมาเลยครับ
I think it might be a magic show.
เราไม่ได้เราเหมือนนะครับเพื่อจอดสนิทเจ้าลงได้เลยครับสามารถเลือกสิ่งที่หมายทางออกในตรงนี้ได้เลยครับ
As though the ride in the older buses wasn't as exciting or more exciting than that. can see a boat dock. I don't think this is used anymore. A very pretty bridge area. Don't know what that building is, but it's pretty. Simple but interesting design. Designed to have lots of flags. See what a beautiful place this should be. I mean, it is pretty. Look at that. It's all grassed in nicely. It's just too bad it's not a waterway. My guess is that this entire boulevard was set up to be a main showpiece going from the old palace to include all the major government buildings. As you notice here, there's 3 lanes going either way in the center, but then 2 lanes on either side going opposite directions. Nicely maintained and treed, so it's a pretty place to walk. Pretty place for bureaucrats to amble on their lunch hour, as well as a nice showpiece compared to the rest of the absolutely frenetic cacophony of sound and movement and smoke elsewhere. Right over there is where you do catch the boat that goes down the one canal, and it goes from this point east quite a little ways. At one point you can jump off, get on another boat, and it goes even farther on, but it's the only one remaining. Tell me there aren't people around here that have money. Boy, what a car. I would love to have such a car. It says Jeep on it, but it's got, I think, a Mitsubishi logo on the front. this is my last day ever in Bangkok, probably. Or hopefully last day ever. I'm going to go over here and pick up the Wat Arun. That'll take care of all the Wats. Then I'm going to take the ferry way down south, and then take the aerial tram, can't remember the name, up to the end of it, and then walk over to Monk's Bowl. Very elaborate Chedai atop this temple building. Look at this character. It's somewhat female, but with clawed feet. Looks like a Chinese philosopher. Three elephants and maybe a Buddha. Okay, as I get in closer and closer, we get more and more detail. This is one of the corner Chedais. I don't know whether these are representations of Buddha or not, but they are redundant on all of these edifices. This on one of the little buildings before you get to the main Chedai. I'm just a few feet away from it, but notice that can't tell whether this is man or woman, but instead of having a sword, it has a rifle, a flintlock, I guess. Here again, one of the corner Chedais. You get a little bit of the detail, a lot of blue color. Floral is the primary motif. Probably looked really beautiful when they were fresh. But now, of course, it's allowed to run down. These are reliefs in niches. And you'll see that within one bowl is still a smaller bowl. And there, the one above it is a dish that's been split in half. You could get dizzy looking up like this. Now I've got to move over to the other section, stairway to climb up. My stairway on the upper portion is the down part. So it looks like they wasted or toasted Grandma's entire set. But some of these are all the same. I wonder if these are Chinese ceramics. This is terrifyingly steep. This upper part is. Here we're looking downriver, where I'll be going after I'm through here. I'll pan across the skyline of Bangkok. And there on the left screen is the Royal Palace complex. And just to the left of this Chedai top here, you can see that pretty bridge that's over near where my guest house is. And apparently on this fabric, which is of course designed to keep the monument warm, people have placed their little mementos. Some are love signals and messages, and others don't know what they are. They're in a different language. And this is one of the temple buildings in between the Chedai, which is often the design. This may well be the Wihan where the main Buddha is. I don't know yet. It is interesting to contemplate what it would take to refurbish this when they get around to deciding to do that, to spruce it up. The ceramics probably are fine. A little bit of cleaning. It would be a major project. Notice here a plant has somehow been able to transplant itself to the top of this temple. And here a little top-down view of this donkey or horse. I'm sure it's a horse. There's another substantial building to the right of the first Wihan that I looked at. This building in the center may be a bell tower, have to see. Many of these other buildings are probably administration, and this probably functions as a monastery. So these would be residences and classrooms of the monk students, if you will, as may well be some of those others. It's lovely standing in the shadows because of the lovely breeze. You can see the clouds moving by. Here we're looking up at the probably war elephants. Notice there's something on the end of their tusks. I'm going to take a little bit closer look at a lot of this detail. Now the inside corners. These look like natural shells. And the outside corners. These mosaic-like pictures are interesting also. We've seen these two characters before. Here a monkey latching onto this creature, whatever kind of a creature it is. Oh, this looks like it's been freshly painted. I like that dark purplish brown color. For anyone that thinks these grandfather clocks have no significance, there's 3 of them here. Get real. Here's a simple wallpaper floral design. But notice, like some wallpaper patterns, there's a border at the top. Does that in all cultures somehow define the outer limits of the universe? This outer wall looks like it's made from painted tiles. Or maybe they're actually ceramic tiles. Like these new ones that have been replaced here. Totally different design, but that doesn't seem to bother anybody. Another Buddha in a very pretty setting. It's a pretty little bit of cement sculpture. It looks like a couple of birds. Little look at the detail of this building. Can't tell what this building is. It looks like it ought to be a bell tower, but I don't see a bell anywhere, even a chain hanging down. It's a matched bell tower with this one here, and up there you can see, I think, just the top of a bell on the inside there. There's some pretty detail on this auxiliary chadai. As you can tell from the noise and the decorations, there are kids at school. Hopefully they're learning something. A teacher at teach. Here's an elaborate overpass for pedestrians that takes you over this main street, then over that one, then over that one, and down at any of the corners. I'm going to the monk bowl place, where the monks make the bowls out of metal. Last time I was here, they were closed on a Sunday. As I get closer and closer, you can hear what it is I'm here for. He has put serrations on there that they'll then use to join these together to make this form here. And this is designed to kind of get them rounded out inside and make the seam smooth, I think. Now I think he's going to start to combine the two of them. Apparently he hammers the serrations together. Continuing the process of trying to round it out